Woodyard. It's a firewood production day. Let's get busy. Once again in the Woodyard, it is a spectacular, beautiful day. It's about 60 degrees right now, sun is shining, birds are singing, light breeze, and I have probably about 8 hours today that I can work outside. Woohoo! I'm happy to be outside, I can tell you that. I spent about 8 hours straight sitting in a chair, editing photographs yesterday, working at a computer in the evening, and it sucks. I'm good for a couple hours and I gotta get outside. So here's what we got. I got a trailer load full of wood that I processed. I got another trailer load full sitting on the ground right here. And I already processed this as far as resplitting and stacking it right here. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna rake up the rest of this debris here and get it out over here out of the way. And I'm gonna back the splitter right into the pile here. And I'm gonna split it so it falls over here because I'm gonna put that pallet right down there, and then all the wood that I split from here is gonna be stacked right there. So I'm gonna start on the end and just go that way, and I'll probably go out, I don't know, maybe another pallet or two. And then the next row is gonna go right here, and I'm gonna go that direction right up to the tree. So I'm gonna basically fill this whole area and right here make basically a wall of wood. And so my plan today is to get this done and this done. And if I get all that done, I just might start up the processor and make another load. We'll see how much time I have and if I can get it done. So it's busy time right now. So the first thing I'm gonna do is get this stuff raked out of here. I already started on it. And one thing that I don't like about the processor is it does make a mess. Lots more crap, lots more stuff. So it would really be nice if I could find a way to sort this stuff out and sell it in bags. I know there's people that do that, but I just can't see an efficient way of doing that time-wise. I know I could do it, but I just don't have the time to play around and pick out all the stuff. I try to pull out, you know, the chunks that are good enough for kindling or the chunks that I can sell as, you know, miscuts, you know, the cookies and things like that. Throw in my cookie bin. But there's a lot of busted up stuff in here from the processor because I find that, you know, when you're processing, if you don't have the wood perfectly straight going in, if you're off, it just crushes it. It just sends it through, which is kind of fun just pushing it through, but you pay the price later with all this. Because if you're a little bit crooked, if you got a cut that's a little off, you know, if you got a log that's a crooked log, you're gonna get some cuts as it goes through on the trough. You're gonna get some cuts that are crooked. And when that happens, you get a lot of this kind of stuff because you're gonna get it crushed and pushed through when it doesn't really wanna go through. And again, like I said, I'm trying to pull out, you know, some of the kindling and some of the chunks that are stackable or good enough for kindling. Because I think I'm going to start bundling some kindling when I get a bundler. That would be nice. So yeah, I'm just pulling out stuff like this. I'm not going to go crazy and get every little scrap, but if I find stuff that makes good kindling, I'm going to do that. So I'll get this out of here, and then basically I'm going to make more scraps when I split. But by doing the resplitting, I find I can do a better job, you know, on the piece, on the big ones as they're going through. I can be more precise. And some of the big ones, the reason they're in there is they're from big rounds to begin with. And that happens. So I'm gonna get all this debris off to the side over here. And then I gotta back up the trailer eventually, but I'm gonna start on this pile off to the side here first. And then I have to change out, put the bucket on to scoop this stuff up to go dump it in the woods. Because right now I got the grapple on. So I think what I need to do eventually, be to have a second tractor or a skid steer and a tractor. So one could be for one job, one could be for the other job. Not that switching it out is all that hard to do, it's just extra time. And I'm sure guys that run big yards have multiple machines and machines that are more dedicated for a specific service or a particular job. So I'm gonna slide the processor like the splitter like right here, so I can grab the pieces, let them fall right off the end. I'm gonna put that pallet that's over here down too, so I'll kind of muscle this thing into place here. I'm kind of on a hill, so it's not gonna be easy. But this is the nice thing about having this splitter versus a real big one, is that I can move it around pretty easily. I don't go long distances with it. I can pull it on the tractor for that. But when I'm in a pile like this, the nice thing about the nice thing about the Ultra is you can just kind of wiggle it around and get it in place. Whereas a big splitter, you're not going to do that with. So I'm just going to kind of stick it in here like that. That way I can stand here, grab the pieces, let them fall right off, and I'm going to put a pallet down right here right now. And then I can stack right away. But I'm not going to split and then grab the piece and then stack it. I mentioned that the other day. The best way to do this is to do one thing at a time. So I'll take a bunch of pieces that need splitting. I'll split them. There we go. Let them fall right here. When I get a big pile, then I'll stack. And the pieces that don't need splitting, I'll just toss over here and then I can stack them. So it's not super efficient, but that's what I got to do to get it done. the wood is getting stacked, and I am finding that I am going farther and farther to get the wood because the pile's here and I want it over there. The splitter is here and I'm going to move it that direction, so I'm going to push it over there. I'm going to take that load of wood, I'm going to pull it out, disconnect it, go hook up my bucket, and I'm going to push this pile right here because I'm walking too much. I'm taking like 5 steps every time just to go get wood and carry it over here. So I'm going to do a little bit of tractor work. We're going to push the wood over this way so I don't have to walk as far. So that's what's going to happen. Here we go. Well, I've been stacking wood like a nice little boy, and I just noticed something about the pile because I'm getting pretty long here in this section back here. This whole pile, this outside row, you guys can see that wiggling. It's got a little bit of a wiggle to it, so it's not super solid. Until I get it built up with another row next to it will help solidify it. So one of the things that I do real often, some of you maybe have seen this, some of you maybe do it yourself. It's just something that I do once in a while. When I notice the pile's getting a little long and a little wiggly, because I am going so high, because I'm going to go 7-8 feet high with this. I'm going to go as high as I can reach. So what I'm going to do is I put a 2x4 in here. Sometimes I just take a branch, and I find that sometimes if you get a branch that's crooked and has knobs on it, it actually works better because it grips the wood. So what I did is I lifted up this piece and I inserted this in. It goes right all the way to the other side, and then it'll tie in right here on this row, and it'll go all the way out to this closest row right here. So I'm going to stack this in right now here so you can see how the wood will surround this, and I'll wedge pieces in. I'll show you one right now here. I'm going to grab a little sliver over on the side here, grab a couple small pieces. I don't know which one's going to work best, but I grabbed these here, some real small pieces. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go underneath this piece, and I'm going to shove this right in here like that, and that tightens that up a little bit. And I'm going to stuff another one. This is a little bitty one right here. I'm going to stuff this right in this crack right here. And that kind of tightens that in, so now it's getting a little tighter. Still not great, still a little loose. So I'm going to stuff this one. I think all I'm going to do is I'm going to stuff this right in here next to the piece that is on top, like that. It's kind of like a jigsaw puzzle. You just want to make them fit tight. There, well, it's still not tight. So I got to find another sliver piece because it's still not working so hot. So all I'm going to do is just find some kindling pieces here. And I'm going to go underneath here and try to lift this piece up a little bit tighter. Oh, there we go. It's getting better. And I think I can get another one right in here underneath again on this side. So I'm kind of just stuffing them in next to it. Oh yeah, I can feel it's already tighter. So there, now it's a lot tighter. A little bit more. There you go. So now this is pretty tight on this back row, and I can shove the whole row. You can see it wiggling there a little bit. And I'm going to fill all this in with wood around it all the way out to this side. And then this whole thing will be tied in tighter. And I do that occasionally, you know, every, I don't know, 6 feet or something like that. I'll stick one in on a big pile like this. So I'll move the camera here so you guys can see how big this is getting. So you can see I'm all the way out, right out to here. And right about to there is, that's probably almost 10 feet because I got one, a 6 foot and a 4 foot. Yeah, it's 10 feet right to here. So that's 10 feet there. And then it goes back in here another, I don't know, how far is this? This has got to be at least 12, 14, 15 feet. I don't know, something like that. But I'm just kind of walking around the pile here, as you can see, all the way over here. And I'm going to come back this way. So you can see, I got to back way up so you can see how big this is getting. It's getting to be quite a wall of wood. And I'm fine with that because this stuff is just going to be non-measured wood that will be in a big stack, and I'll just load up the truck or the trailer for what I need. And I'm just going to keep going until I make this whole thing full here, and then we'll do the same to this one. We'll just keep going out this way as I bring wood from the processor. So back to stacking. My lawn man is doing the job. That's Forrest Gump. He's a good mower. That's a bunch of wood. My 8-hour day ended up being a 4-hour day. Right in the middle of my stacking, something came up. I had to go do a commercial photography job today. So I ended up only working out here for 4 hours, but I still got a bunch done. I got everything off the ground that need to be stacked here from the first load. And the second load, I tipped the trailer up like you saw. All that's left is debris in the trailer now. So that's what's the debris from one trailer load full of splitting, and here's the other pile of debris, quite a bit. And I still got to sort through a lot of this and pick out a lot of kindling that's in there. And probably going to set that to the side and then scoop it up and haul it away. So there it is. That's as far as I'm going to go with that pile right there. And then this pile will go basically one more pallet. So I go up to the tree right here. So I got enough, probably for a whole nother load there. So that'll be 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5 loads, I think. 5 loads. Yeah, something like that. 5 loads, I think I'll get there altogether, which is at least 4 face cords per load. So that's 20 face cords. So it's about 7 full cords is what I'll have. I don't know, I'll measure it. It's 8 feet high. It's as high as I can reach. So I don't know if you can see me standing here. It's way above my head. So I can reach about 8 feet, and that's about how high the pile is. So it's up there. So it ran out of daylight. It's after 8 o'clock already. I can hear some storms coming. It's booming over there. So I think it's time for me to quit. I'm running out of daylight. There's lightning in the sky. I'm starving. Day is done. You're going to poke some buttons. Tomorrow you're coming back at 5:30 a.m. I'll be back here doing more work. See you then. Between now and then, go to my channel and watch some of the videos. There's 700 waiting just for you. Good night, Irene.